This video is continuity of the last video where we talk about the factorization. Okay, there are some formula we use factorizing an expression. Those three most frequently used formula are a squared minus b squared. If there is a difference of the squares, then if you want to factorize that, it will be the first minus the second without the exponent, first minus the second times the first plus the second. You see that? If there is a difference of the cubes, then the formula is a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. And if there is plus, there will be plus, and then there is minus, but the similar expression there, right? So if you can write the first square minus second square, you use that formula. If you can write in the cube form, you use this formula. We'll see some of the examples here. Okay, let's see the first example. There is 4a squared minus 9. The first thing to do, the factorize, is there anything common between this term and that term? There is nothing common, right? Now let's think about, can we write in one of these formula? It looks like the first formula is the best one, right? So can you write a squared something squared minus another thing squared? Yes. So you can write this as, you can write 2a to the whole squared minus 3 to the whole squared. You think like this is a squared minus b squared, right? So what is the formula? The first thing squared minus the second thing squared. So, but if there is something outside the parenthesis, you cannot use that formula. So you need to have that form, nothing beyond the a squared, nothing beyond the b squared. There should not be anything coming outside that a. I mean, if you can write whole square, then you can use that formula. Otherwise you cannot. Okay, so you can think this as like a, this is like b, right? So it is like a squared minus b squared. Now we use the formula. What is the formula? It's a minus b is 2a minus 3 times a plus b is 2a plus 3. That is the final answer. That's the factors. Okay. Similarly, let's look at the example number 2. Can you write the a squared minus b squared form? No, because there is cube. So a cube minus b cube form, we'll try. What raised to the 3 is 27? That is 3x to the, so you can write this as 3x to the third, because 3 to the third is 27, x to the third is x cubed, right? Minus, you can write this as 2 to the third. You see that? So it is like a cube minus b cube, the second formula. So you can directly use that formula. The formula is a minus b. A is 3x minus 2, right? And then a squared is 3x squared plus ab is 3x times 2, and then plus b squared is 2 squared. Now let us simplify this. This is 3x minus 2, and this is 9x squared plus 6x plus 4. That is the final answer, because 3x to the square is 3x times 3x, which is 9x squared. 3x times 2 is 6x. 2 squared is basically 4. Okay, and again, there was no common between the first term and the second term. That's why we just wrote that into that form. But if there is something common, try to take that common out. Let's look at example number 3. 2x cubed plus 16. Is there anything common? Yes, there is. So you can take that as 2x cubed plus 8, because you took 2 out. Okay, 8 times 2 is 16. That's why. Now you can use the formula number 3 here, because it is a cube plus b cube, right? So you can write this as 2 times x to the cube plus 2 to the cube. You can write that way, right? A cube plus b cube. Now let's write on the formula. 2 times a plus b is x plus 2. I'm using that formula, right? So times a squared is x squared, right? Because this is like a, this is like b. So x squared, and then minus a times b is 2 times x, right? Because x times 2 or 2 times x, the same thing. Plus b squared is 4. 2 squared is 4. That's the final answer. So these are the factors. Okay. So if you have to factorize, and if you think that you can use one of these formula, then you can use the formula directly. Now let's do number 4. In question number 4, do you think you can write square form? A squared minus b squared form? Let's see. What square is 16? It is 4 square, right? 4, and what square is x to the 4th? It's x squared. So it is like 4x squared to the square minus what square is 81? 9 square, right? So do you think that it is in the form of a and then a square minus b square? Yes, exactly. So if you factor out this, it is a plus b, a minus b. So 4x square minus 9, and then 4x square plus 9. You see that? Now can you still factorize here? Because you can write this as a square minus b square again. So how do you write that? So this will look like 2x to the square minus 3 square, right? A square minus b square. And for this one, we didn't have that plus formula for the square. We have just the a square minus b square. We didn't have the plus in the middle. That's why we keep that 4x square plus 9. Okay, so what do you get here? It is a square minus b square, right? It is like, you can think this as a square minus b square. So it is a minus b is 2x minus 3, and then a plus b is 2x plus 3, right? And then the last one is as it is 4x square plus 9, which is the final answer. So we got the 3 factors for 16x to the 4 minus 81. So let us look at example number 5. It has 16a to the 4 minus b to the 4. Okay, let us think this problem. We don't have a number for the second term. There is a and then there is b, but the process to do this is exactly same as example number 4. So you can write this as 4a square to the square, right? This is 16a to the 4 minus b to the 2 square. So it is like a square minus b square form. So it is 4a square minus b square, right? And then this is 4a square plus b square. The second one doesn't have formula. We just work with the first expression here, first factor. It is 2a to the square minus b to the square, right? It is like a square minus b square form. And then the second factor is as it is plus b square. So you can write 2a minus b times 2a plus b. We use that for number 1, and then 4a square plus b square. So that is the final answer for this problem. Okay guys, so basically the first thing you do is, if you can factor out anything like in example 3, take that factor out and then use one of these formula. And if you think that you can use one of these formula, then the problem becomes easier because you can use those formula directly. Okay guys, thank you.